Whoa! It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. It's early. I'm gonna go try to get some waves this morning. Supposedly big banging west-northwest swell coming in. Could have some wind issues. There's a giant high tide mid-morning, which isn't helping anything out, but it's my window. I got a window to go do this thing and get after it. I think it was pretty decent yesterday up the coast. What's the report? So after that last video, I surfed all day, right? I was so exhausted the next day. You know, I don't think I'd done any real truly heavy duty, like all day surfing activity. That one day up in Santa Cruz, I surfed all day and I was pretty worn out, but this was a special kind of like worn out, depleted, just and it took me a couple days to get back. I'm feeling pretty good today. My back was pretty sore. I have to admit that I was super sore. But you know, I got my supplements. I'm gonna take my B12 right now. Get my B on. Get my B on. Get fired up on my vitamin B12. So I'm feeling pretty good, man. You know, it's interesting. I decided I'm gonna take another package with Dr. Kim. Another 8 sessions. I'm fully terrified to live without Dr. Kim now. The mental, you know, I just kind of at the stage amazed how well I've recovered from my back, and yet fully aware of how tweaked I am. It's a heavy duty thing, man. It's a heavy duty thing as I sit here and wait for my car to warm up and get fired up. I got my coffee. And then I'm going to do a big detox here in a little bit. Really clean everything out. I've been taking a lot of ibuprofen, which really works, but it's really bad for your gut flora. So I got a whole bunch of heavy duty, like heavy duty probiotics and this Myco ZX stuff, which breaks down all the gut slime in there and flushes it all out. And I'm gonna clean up my diet. I'm pretty sugar free. Like, I don't do a lot of processed sugar, but I've been a lot of cheese, a lot of dairy's been slipping in lately with quesadillas. I've been real finicky about food lately. Just been eating a lot of quesadillas, which are, you know, dairy's terrible for you. So I gotta clean up my food intake. But all in all, pretty fired up about it all. I've been tripping out though, man. You know, as we come into 2018, people just still caught in the matrix. Kind of mind blowing. The fear matrix. Not realizing that, like, who the puppet master is, that the puppet master has a puppet master, and that ultimately you're the puppet master, that nobody's more in charge of you, and especially if you've turned your life over to God, that like you have the ultimate power at your disposal if you choose to use it. And you know, come at 2018, rough start. I got that, whatever that flu is, whether it's debatable whether it's really the flu or I just got super sick. The minigram and I got laid up for like a week right after we got back from Vegas. So over New Year's, boom, we were both just sick as could be. I recovered a lot quicker than the minigram. Minigram was down for 8 days. I was down for solid 5. And I'm usually a rebounder real quick because I don't even believe in the concept of getting sick, but this one took me hard. So that's how I opened up the new year, was laying on the floor sick. And you know, it's been a good 18's off to a strong start, because it's, you know, I don't know, what am I gonna call the call this year? Drake sent me a text going, what are you gonna call this year, man? I'm gonna call this year a victory year. I think that we can overcome a lot this year. I think again, all the evidence is out there that we can overcome all the obstacles, but the first thing we have to realize is that we're our own obstacle to all of the madness, dude. Again, I always appreciate the one Jack Johnson line from Ones and Zeros. I never get it right on the spot. A lot of people complaining about all the oil drilling, but there sure is a lot of traffic. God, I do a terrible job paraphrasing that. Which is the whole thing is yeah, everyone can complain, but can you accept that you're part of the problem? We are all unified as part of the problem. And many of us are doing our very best not to be part of the problem, and yet just by our reality of it all, because we're not zero sum, we are all participating in said issues. And I think that's what the deal is we all have to cross that bridge of acceptance and realize that the first person to point the finger at is yourself, and be like, okay, dude, I am the root of all problems. Now what? Now what do I do about it? Do I sit and be like, oh, it's somebody else's problem? Or do I choose to be victorious over the problem? That's why it's the year of victory, right? I can't blame anybody else for my back, right? I can't blame anybody for my back. It was me. I didn't take care of myself through my 30s. I really didn't, and I could have. I used to scoff at clowns stretching at the beach and all that kind of stuff. Look at me now. I sit in the parking lot as before I suit up, and I got my yoga mat, and I'm stretching, and I'm rolling out my muscles. I used to think those dudes were idiots. Look at me now. And so that's the thing, again, is taking responsibility. No one hurt me. I hurt myself. No one's to blame here. You know, I'm in a car, but this whole weird thing of like, oh, I got a Tesla, so I'm okay now, and all you guys are the problems. Yeah, well, wake up, dude, because those Teslas consume more energy and are more environmentally destructive than my little 6-cylinder here I'm driving around in, dude. Once you realize all the rare earth minerals required for those batteries, and that the fact that all the energy required for those Teslas come from coal and are put through copper lines that lose vast amounts of energy in transmission. Like, that's the thing. It's like, we really have to look at ourselves and be like, I had this moment. I don't know what I was doing the other day. I was driving somewhere, and the madness of it all. I think we were up in San Francisco, and like, it's just madness, right? And San Francisco's like the super liberal progressive town, and you look at the energy consumption of that town and you just go, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites, dude. And that's it. Hypocrisy is a part of the human condition, man. So, you know, the year of victory for me is about overcoming myself and realizing that I don't need to point fingers at anybody except the dude in the mirror. And that if I'm busy pointing fingers at you, there's 3 fingers pointing back at me. And that's the first step to victory, dude. I don't know if that's really what I was shooting for with this whole video, but what the hey. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 6:07 in the morning, man. I'm just winging it, just like everybody else, man. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up in this video going long is, I was talking to Minigram about this the other day. Nobody knows anything. All those dudes sitting in those chairs like claiming like, oh, we're the experts. We know everything. They're full of it, dude. Yeah, they may be super smart. They may have all sorts of letters after their name, and they may be educated, but nobody really knows what's going on here on Spaceship Earth, man. This all could be a simulation. It all could be a dream. It could just be what it is. It's kind of a hectic reality. I don't really know. And anyone who's telling you they do know is full of it. All anyone can do is give you observational advice, man. That's all anyone should be doing, is going, this is what I'm observing. This is my perception of what I'm observing. And to say that it's the end all be all and it's a fact, I'm not there anymore. I don't believe the scientists anymore. I don't believe the religious scholars anymore. All I have to go on is my own experience, removing the filter that I put on it, man. If I look at my life now, 47 or 8 years, I don't even know how old I am anymore, and how many incarnations I've had in this lifetime, how many times I've changed my perception of reality, man. Look, when I was loaded, my perception of the world was pretty dark, dude. I was with Al yesterday. We were walking around down at the Ventura Harbor, dude, and he was looking at the boats, screaming at the boats, how stoked. Big boats, big boats. And I was tripping on the bird, like his childlike enthusiasm, his perception of the world is so pure and innocent. There's nothing bad going on. There's no negative going on in Owl's perception of the world, dude. That's some weird negativity, some weird manufactured thing. And it might be manufactured through traumatic experiences. I don't want to discount that. But also I think, man, it's manufactured through this constant bombardment of televisions and social media and nonsense. I'm a big advocate of throwing the television out the window. But, I also got to realize, man, I've been, I watch way too much YouTube videos, dude. Even though it's pretty benign, it's usually talks or someone rock climbing or something, dude. I've been going down the rabbit hole of rock climbers lately. Those dudes are weirdos, man. I appreciate what they do, but they are some spun out people, man. I guess they're no more spun out than surfers are, dude, or skaters. But I watch rock climbing videos and I am like, they are foreign to me. I know what they're doing, but I don't understand what they're doing. It's kind of rad though. That's why I watch them. And you know what else I've been watching a lot lately? And I don't know why, but it fascinates me, is dudes rehabbing Hot Wheels. I've stumbled onto like these Hot Wheels videos where these guys take these old beat to heck Hot Wheels and take them apart and refurbish them, dude. Refurbishing Hot Wheels. And those videos are like 17 minutes long, and I sit there and they're always the same, dude. The videos are the same every time, dude. And I was like, the hologram was like, you watch those because they're super relaxing. They're super relaxing. But it's just this weird thing, like how I've been using YouTube to watch a bunch of stuff I'm not interested in, dude. And finding that I'm super interested in it. Like, I guess that's what I'm getting at with this weird, the year of victory, is maybe we all ought to just start checking things out we're not that interested in, because maybe we'll find out that it's way more interesting than we think it is. Because again, what do we know? There's 7 billion perceptions going on this planet right now. To say that any one perception of what's going on Spaceship Earth is right and every 7 billion of them are wrong, that's insanity to me, man. I could get into the unified energy field of it, of the 7 billion perceptions combined is the correct perception. plus one more. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then you think about it, you take all the perceptions through time and history, right, that have been recorded, you know, millions more. That's why I love reading books. Books are the answer. Anyway, I've run way too long here on the drive down the mountain. I'll probably have a last little bit to this video with, I shouldn't say it, because I might not. Maybe there'll be some waves here.